All right, welcome everybody to the second act, part 2. The curtain is up on part 2, the second act of the Brad and Squeeze show. Welcome everybody, and what are we doing here? All right, host chat first. David Squeeze Anarchy still on a secret mission somewhere in Asia, and hopefully he will be back tomorrow. Or maybe he's somewhere in Africa, and maybe he'll be back tomorrow. Maybe he's somewhere in the Caribbean. Maybe he's in Europe. Maybe he's down the street in New York. The real answer, we will find out tomorrow morning. But it is the Brad Sans Squeeze show for the second act, the 12 o'clock edition. This is more of a Law Link edition, the 12 o'clock show. The 9 o'clock show is an immigration edition. Although we will be taking your immigration calls, we are going to get into a lot more areas of law in this show. You are hearing us live on 93.5 WVIP in the New York metropolitan area. You are hearing us live on Facebook at Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein. You are hearing us live on Law Offices of Spar on Brad H. Bernstein, and our new Facebook page, the Brad and Squeeze Show, where Kim, our social media queen, will only be asking those questions first. So if you leave your questions on the Brad and Squeeze Show Facebook page, your questions for sure will be asked and answered first, and then we'll get to Law Offices Spar and Bernstein, Brad H. Bernstein. We're also seen on David Squeeze Anarchy. We're seen on Link Up Media. We're seen on Jamrock Magazine on Facebook. We are seen on USA Credit Repair. About 12 or 10 different platforms we're seen on, and we average somewhere between 5 to 10,000 people watching us per show, which ain't bad. Ain't bad for this. We've only been doing this, what, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? Before that, we were just taking out our camera and going, hi, how are you? It's our camera. Here's Squeeze. Here's Brad. Now we're actually doing this kind of professional. So, while we're waiting for the phones to heat up, we have Sam from Rahway, who's been waiting a while. We're going to get to Sam and answer his immigration question. We're going to see what else is going on in the news today. The telephone number to call to get your immigration questions asked and answered is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. It's funny, I looked at the Brad and Squeeze Facebook page after the show. I kind of follow the comments right now on Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein. It's hard for me to go from page to page, talk, and be by myself. But I was looking at the comments from the Brad squad in the Brad and Squeeze show, and they all seem to be telling me that I look a little tired. Well, yeah, if you ran a law firm and you had all these people working for you and you did 2 live shows a day and you got 2 crazy teenage kids and a social life and a crazy friend by the name of David Squeeze Anarchy who likes to take you out every night, you would be tired too. All right, so what's going on in the news? A first look at the Brooklyn, Queens connector, whatever this is. A prototype of a tram between Brooklyn and Queens is being held at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. So if you want to go over to Brooklyn Navy Yard, that's going to be the new tram that's going to be running between Sunset Park to Astoria, from Brooklyn to Queens. It's going to be an it's basically an above ground subway that's on a track on a road, and each car is going to hold 23 people. So, right now, actually, to take a subway from Brooklyn to Queens, you got to ride through Manhattan and circle around, and it takes a pretty long time. So now you're going to be able to skip Manhattan completely and go Brooklyn to Queens, Queens to Brooklyn, without ever having to step foot in Manhattan, which is not bad. I think that's a pretty good idea. It's going to be an above-ground thing. It's not being done by the MTA, and it's being paid for fully by taxes on new construction here in New York. And it says it will even have horn on it. And so I guess why that's exciting, I don't know why it's going to have a horn. I guess to prevent, because it's on the street. It's not underground. I'm like, why do we need horns on this thing? A horn like honk honk. I'm like, a horn like this. I'm like, why? I didn't get it. So, yeah, because I guess it's going to be on the street, and I guess it will, honk you and scare the hell out of you if it's coming in your direction. And it is being developed right now, and hopefully will be running within the next couple of years. So we look forward to going from Brooklyn to Queens without having to step foot in Manhattan. Here's something very exciting to the Star Wars fans out there. Disney has another Star Wars trilogy. It's called, it's announced that they have plans to release a new Star Wars trilogy once the current saga wraps up. It will have different characters, but it will keep the same Star Wars theme. There is no release date yet. It is projected to come out sometime in 2020. It will be directed by Rian Johnson, who directed The Last Jedi, which I have not seen. So the last episode is scheduled to hit the theaters on December 20th, 2019. The new Star Wars trilogy called Return of the Grab of Money. No, I don't know what it's going to be called, but that's what it sounds like to me. Just let's grab some more money and call the movie Star Wars. All right, what else? I mean, because it's a completely new movie, new characters, new everything, but we're going to call it Star Wars, so everyone will flock to the theaters, because if we called it something else, nobody would care. But it's a completely different movie, but that's how Hollywood works. All right, New York Post did a dangerous street study of New York City. And most accidents are caused, as you would think, by alcohol, road rage, speeding, sleepy drivers, sun glare. And the results were determined by analyzing 650,000 accidents that happened in New York City. The most deadly area of any accident is Northern Boulevard in Queens. I have traveled on there. The site of the deadly September bus crash killed 3 and injured 16. It ranked in the top 2 in all 5 deadly categories. The 12-mile-long roadway was second in speed-related accidents. It was 74 accidents related to alcohol. The other big accident road is Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. Also was in the top 5 of all categories. So if you are on Northern Boulevard in Queens, which I travel on, or you are on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn, which I have traveled on in the past, just making sure everything's here, got everything, you can be well assured that you're more likely to get into an accident, so be very, very careful. And in the funny robbery news of the day, before we get to immigration, there was a woman who was the victim of a home invasion robbery, and thieves came to her home and stole some stuff and tied her up, and she was okay. They didn't harm her. At approximately 5:20 in the morning on a Thursday, May 18th, in the Crown Heights section of New York, victim and her 2 roommates were robbed at gunpoint by 3 men. They broke into her apartment through a fire escape window, and they left with approximately $1,500 in cash and some other items. Now, surveillance video captured one of the suspects earlier this week as he went to the Chipotle order window at the Kings Plaza Shopping Center. Chipotle, I don't know, I've never been there. Chipotle at the Kings Plaza Shopping Center. And the woman worked at the Chipotle, recognized him, confronted him as he was making his order at the delivery window, and the guy got nabbed. And there's the guy right there at the Chipotle window. So that was actually the dumb thief of the day story, going back to order food from the woman whose place he robbed. All right, 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. We're going to do some immigration. We're going to be speaking later to David Moreno regarding criminal defense here at Spar and Bernstein. We're going to be speaking to Rebecca Linetsky later on about I-9 verification, something we never talk about if you have a business and how you verify whether somebody is legal to work for you or not. But right now we are going to go to Sam. Sam is in Rahway, New Jersey. Sam.
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. So I'm just asking a question here for my wife. In 2008, she filed for her 5th. That was in January. it's a two-part question.
Two-part question. All right.
Yeah. How soon will she be hearing from them? And the second part is that she put her kids on the application. Will those kids be able to travel?
Is this person a citizen who filed for the spouse?
My wife. She's a citizen.
And she filed for who? Who is the person she's filing for?
Her sister.
Her sister.
In 2008.
In 2008. Well, the sister has several years of waiting to go still. It's going to be at least 4 more years, 3 more years. Let's see where they're up to right now. Let me pull up the visa bulletin, which it was up on my computer here, and somebody took it down, unfortunately. So let's see. The visa bulletin says for brothers and sisters. How old are the kids?
Well, the son is 19 and the daughter is over 21.
All right. The kids are not going to get here because they're up to 2004 now. So still about 4 years to go. They're going to be well over 21 by the time the case comes through, unfortunately. But your sister-in-law has about 4 more years to go.
So it's not 10 years anymore?
It's going to be more than 10 years. It's probably 12 to 14.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a full generation to get here as a brother and sister. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. This is the Lawling version of the Brad and Squeeze Show. As a programming note, we're going to speak to Kimberly in Jamaica, West Indies, and then we're going to go find David Moreno via Skype somewhere in our office, and we are going to be talking about sexual assault, harassment, and rape claims against people who may not necessarily be in the news. You know, this happens to not only Harvey Weinstein and Brett Ratner, happens to lots and lots of people. Let's go first to Kimberly in Jamaica, West Indies, who has an immigration question.
Hi, I'm not sure if it's an immigration question, but nonetheless.
Okay.
A few days ago, I got my U.S. Tourist visa, right? Because I was planning on traveling in December.
Okay.
A friend of mine who doesn't live in the States, they live in a European country, Serbia to be exact. They wanted me to visit.
Right.
And I had checked with the Serbian embassy, and they told me that I could use my U.S. visitor's visa to come there. Now, being that I just got the visa, do you advise that I use that visa?
No, you can't use a U.S. visa to go to Serbia. I think what they were thinking is that you have a U.S. passport, but you can't use a U.S. visa to go enter another country. The U.S. visa is only good for the United States. So I would. So there was a miscommunication there. If you try to go on a plane with a U.S. visa to go to Serbia, you're going to have a problem in Serbia, and that's the last place you want to have a problem. You know, going to Eastern Europe, and have a problem. Go now. If you were able to get a visa to go to the United States, I'm sure you can get a visa to go to Serbia too.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. 1-800-529-5465. That is the number to Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-529-5465. When you call that number, it is a very powerful number, because when you call that number, not only can you make appointments to come see me about immigration, see our fantastic immigration lawyers about immigration, you can see our fantastic criminal defense attorneys, who you're going to meet in about a second, David Moreno, or our tax attorney, or our divorce attorneys. You met her yesterday, Kristen O'Leary. You can meet our personal injury lawyers, Moshe. You met him yesterday as well, at least on the radio. We were not live yesterday, but we'll be live in the future at 12 o'clock. But right now, we're going to go find David Moreno somewhere. He's one of our fantastic criminal defense attorneys. David Moreno there. He is. You look a little dark. We need to get some light on you.
It's racist.
It's not racist. I'm literally telling you, you look dark. We need some more light on the guy. I'm not being racist. It's a reality here. There's not enough light on you.
This is my office.
That's your office. You usually sit in the dark, though, don't you?
Yeah, but the light is on today.
The light is on today. All right. You know what I think is maybe Patrice, maybe we have an extra light. She can bring it in during the interview, so at least you know, we can see your handsome face at some point. Right now, we just see kind of an outline of you.
Gotcha. How's it going, Brad?
All right. So we're talking about sexual assault, harassment, rape claims. They're very prevalent in the news right now. Obviously, in the American justice system, one of the great things about the American justice system, although Donald Trump doesn't think so, is everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and has the right to an attorney. You don't have a right to a good attorney, although you have a right to I guess a competent attorney, but not all attorneys are the same. You are looking at and going to be listening to a really good attorney by the name of David Moreno. But when somebody is accused of a rape, they face steep penalties, jail time, fines, loss of their livelihood. What actually, because, this guy Harvey Weinstein is supposedly going to be charged very shortly with rape. What is rape? Obviously, we know what it is, but what is the legal definition of rape?
Sure. There are a number.
You're breaking up. I'm not hearing you.
Okay.
Oh, now you go. Now I hear you.
There are a number of definitions.
Nope, you're breaking up again. I think you have to. You're trying to talk into your microphone. You have to talk more into your microphone. Let's see if we hear you now. Yeah, I'm not hearing you.
Check this out.
Yeah, you're coming in and out. So why don't we, Mr. Moreno, why don't we come back to you in about 30 seconds while you figure out your microphone, and I'm going to take a telephone call in the meantime. How's that? All right. So while we figures out the microphone issues in his office, David Moreno, we're going to go to Chesterfield for a immigration question. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
While we figures out,
You got to just lower. You just got to lower the sound in the background, please.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. How you doing, sir?
Good. Good. What's your question?
Sir, please. I got a question. Like, my sister adopted me almost like 14 years ago.
Right.
When I was in Africa.
Uh-huh.
So they approved it over here and everything. So when I went to the interview, the people, they were demanding more evidence, which I gave them, and they demanded more. So they give me another appointment date, which they say I should bring more documents. So it's been a long time. I never went back. It's been a long time, almost like 11 years or 12 years.
Where are you calling me from, Mohammed?
I'm calling you from Chesterfield, Virginia.
Okay. Your sister's an American citizen?
Yes, she's an American citizen.
All right, so you got approved at some point, filed by your American citizen sister, who was ultimately your adopted mother. And,
yes.
And so you went to a U.S. embassy in Africa. How are you in America right now?
Yeah, in Africa. So when I went there, I gave them the documents.
How are you in America right now? How'd you come back? I understand you went. I understand you went to Africa. You gave them documents. They said, "No way. You don't have enough. Got to come back with more." You never came back with more, but somehow you're back in America. How'd you do that?
Yeah, I came on. I got a problem, so I came on through border. I came on through border.
All right. So you entered the country without inspection, and here you are.
No, they expect me. No, I came on through border.
Did you have a visa? Did you have a visa?
No, but I was detained.
You were detained. Okay, so you entered without inspection. You were held, and then did you, I guess, applied for asylum?
Yeah, I was.
You applied for asylum. Okay, fine. All right, and how? And that was. Did you go to an immigration judge?
No, I didn't go to immigration judge. So.
One second. Stop. Just answer my questions, because other than that, you're going to be telling me your story for the next 30 minutes. You never went to an immigration judge. Did they schedule an appointment for you to see a judge and you didn't show up? Did you know about it? Did you not know about it? What happened?
No. They gave me an appointment date next year.
For next year?
For next year.
Got it.
But now.
But so you're in deportation. Your sister adopted you 12 years ago. You got denied. You're now in deportation. You filed asylum. You're here. You got all sorts of problems here. Now are you gonna tell me you're married now?
Yeah, I got
You got
I'm
married.
married
Yeah.
almost 2 years now.
All right. So you have all sorts of issues. Hold on one second. We have to sort all this out. We're never going to sort it out on the radio.
Okay.
Hold on one second. All right. He needs help. All right. 1-800-529-5465. Did we sort out David Moreno's microphone? All right. So we're going to go to Charlene from Cleveland, Ohio. The microphone is not sorted out yet. Charlene,
Hey, Brad, how are you?
how are you?
I'm good. I have questions to ask you.
Yes.
I'm a citizen. When I did my citizen, I did my son, which is 12 years old, so he automatically gets citizen under me, right?
Oh, well, did he have a green card and was he living with you?
Yes.
Then yes, he would be an automatic citizen.
So, next question. I'm married to his father, which is not a citizen. He would not stop anything, right?
The father?
Yeah.
What about the father?
I'm married to my son's father, but he's not a citizen.
You have
He
to
wouldn't
file for
stop
him.
anything.
No, he doesn't get it automatically. You have to file for him.
I know that. But next question, too. You know the application name, the number application I should put in?
Where's your son's father?
He's here with me
How did he come to America?
on a work visa.
All right. And how long has he been here?
Maybe 10 years.
All right. So you need an I-485,
I-45.
I-485,
Okay.
I-130,
Okay.
I-864,
Okay.
I-765,
Okay.
I-131.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
good
you
luck
very
with
much.
that. You're welcome. All right, 1-800-529-5465. We are not going to go to David. How about going to Kimberly Moore in our social media room? Does her microphone work? And if so, does she have questions for us?
She does, and it does.
If she does it, it does. So why can't we just have David sit in your social media chair later and use your microphone?
We totally. I mean,
Aha! What?
he's using my microphone in his office, but I gave him my microphone, and it works every day.
Maybe it must be the connection. So let him sit in your seat when we're done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to power through all these social media
All right.
questions.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we go through our social media questions with our social media queen? She's no longer SMG. She is SMQ. And
I love
our social media queen. And our social media queen will power through our social media questions. We'll go to a Braducation because it's always educational to see a Braducation and see if we can have, and then see if we can switch seats with Mr. Moreno.
Perfect.
How's that work?
Oh,
all
that
right.
sounds like a
Social media queen. Let's hit me. Not really.
Okay. No, I won't.
Okay.
Malicia asks if she failed her citizenship test and she's taking it again, when she reapplies, is she going to have to pay the fee again?
Yes. Damn.
Done. Yeah. And, I feel like I knew that this morning, but, I don't answer the immigration question.
Right.
Donette would like to know, my spouse's former military will be filing my paperwork for me to get my green card. We've been married for 2.5 years. Will I get a 10-year green card or the 2-year conditional?
10. Ta-da! Yay!
Yay!
Okay.
Barbara would like to know, if you overstay in the United States, can you travel from state to state? My passport is valid.
You can, but be careful, because if you get pulled over by you-know-whos, you can get you-know-what booted out of the you-know-where. So be careful.
I would recommend that Barbara watch our 100-mile border segment.
That would be a
before
smart
she
thing.
travels.
Correct.
Yes. Tamika would like to know if someone has no joint account with their spouse and they don't have any pictures of them together except their wedding. However, they have a house that's in both of their names and they've got 2 kids together. What would that be substantial enough evidence to prove that they're in a bona fide relationship?
I don't know. It's the totality of circumstances. Obviously, they have children together and they have a home, so there was a relationship at some point in their life Whether or not it continues to this day, we don't know. You know, what a home and 2 kids would indicate is that you have had a relationship, sure, at one point. Is it continued to this day, or is this just a marriage of convenience at this point? That would be the questions, and it depends on the documentation that you have. You got to live together.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I think that they need a good lawyer.
I think they do
to help them gather the proper evidence.
I think that they do. By God, social media queen, you're onto something.
And maybe a quick participation in our Bratified marriage segment would go a long way to help them.
Yes. If this is Tamika again, tell her to have her friend come on. You know.
Different Tamika.
Okay.
Joe on Facebook would like to know, is it okay to travel, same question, to travel domestic with a passport? My papers are still being processed because my boss sponsored me.
Again, be careful.
Yeah. If a child comes to the United States when they were 18, would they be eligible for citizenship? He was filed for by his stepdad, who's a U.S. citizen.
No, you have to be a permanent resident for 5 years. So showing up at 18 doesn't qualify you for anything, and it also doesn't qualify you for anything being sponsored by your stepdad. If it was your natural dad and you entered before 18, different story.
Okay. Malika would like to know, what is SIJ and how does it work?
SIJ is Special Juvenile Immigrant, Special Immigrant Juvenile. I always back it up. Sometimes I have dyslexia. And what it is it's for children who are under the age of 21 who have not reached the age of majority, and they have either been abandoned, neglected, or abused by at least one of their biological parents, and that either one of the other biological parents or another adult goes into a family court, gets legal guardianship, and demonstrates to the family court judge that this child who is under 21, who has not reached the age of majority, should not be reunited with at least one of their biological parents because of abuse, neglect, or abandonment. Then they would be entitled to, the adult would get legal guardianship of the child, and that child would then be entitled as an abandoned, neglected, or abused child to sponsor himself or herself for a green card, as long as this all happens before the age of 21.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, man.
Alrighty then.
There's so many layers to
Lots
SIJ.
of layers.
It always blows my mind.
Lots of layers. It's like those 7 chocolate 7-layer cakes.
It's a good thing that we have a full-service law firm that has both family and immigration law all in one.
Yes.
Valan would like to know, if someone has a green card but has been outside the U.S. for a couple years without applying for a re-entry permit, does that mean that they have lost their green card?
Yes. Now, you can go to the U.S. Embassy and apply for what's called an SB1 visa. The SB1 visa is if you can show that you have enough ties back to the United States, you left your home, your children, your family, assets, things that you can demonstrate that while you did not abandon your permanent residence in the United States, it's possible that they can give you an SB1 visa to go re-enter the U.S. as a lawful resident. You would have to have a good excuse why you were out of the country and show what ties and what other things you have in the United States that demonstrates that you really didn't abandon it. But generally speaking, if you just get on an airplane and come to the United States, you're getting stopped.
They're not, right.
All right.
And our last question of the day, Nicola wants to know, I left my dog in Jamaica many years ago. How can I get him here? What is your knowledge on pet immigration, Brad?
It's called customs. It's a different type of law. But I'm very sad about your dog. But you need a customs lawyer. It's like trying to bring a clothes or a couch or anything else. It's something you own. There's no pet immigration, unfortunately.
Remember at the Great Pumpkin Parade?
Yes.
Costume test.
That's right.
Those dogs, no problems.
No problem entering the country, obviously, right? But it's a customs issue. It's not an immigration issue.
Okay.
All right. So let's see if we can do a Braducation. And you know what we'll do before we do Braducation? I do have to remind everybody that this is brought to you by USA Credit Repair. and they are our proud sponsors. And if you sit with me for 1 minute, please. Oh, nope, she's gone. So we'll talk about USA Credit Repair. We'll do a Braducation. Hopefully we'll get David Moreno in. Okay, no, it's okay. And hopefully we'll get David Moreno in our social media chair, and he'll, instead of from his office, we'll do it from there, and hopefully the microphone works better there. This show's brought to you by USA Credit Repair. They are our proud sponsors. They are here for you today. They're for you tomorrow. If your credit is below 700, you need to call USA Credit Repair. They guarantee that they will get your credit up within 90 days or money back, as long as you don't do anything screwy to it, like you know, don't pay your bills or apply for more credit and get denied. You know, they'll tell you what to do, what you can and can't do, and as long as you follow their protocols, they guarantee that your credit will go up within 90 days or money back. And they also have this program right now that if you watch this program, the Brad and Squeeze Show, they will do your credit repair, full credit repair, for 30 days for absolutely free, as long as you know the answer to one of our simple citizenship questions. Since we have no time to go through citizenship questions, I'm going to give you the same answer as I did this morning. The answer is George Washington. Don't worry about what the question is. Well, he was the first president of the United States. So if you know who the first president of the United States is, it was George Washington. You call USA Credit Repair right now at 1-800-872-7177. That's 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. You call up and you tell them, George Washington, give me my 30 days. 1-800-872-7177 for USA Credit Repair. They'll give you credit repair free for 30 days, and they give you a money-back guarantee within 90 days if your credit's not up, as long as you follow their protocol. 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. 1-800-872-7177. And that is our USA Credit Repair segment. We now have a Braducation. I'm not sure what the Braducation video is today, this afternoon, but we are going to answer a question that we always hear all the time in a little more detail. And when we come back, hopefully we can speak to David Moreno from our Criminal Defense Department about what's going on in the criminal area in our American justice system as it pertains to rape, sexual abuse, because that's what we're hearing in the news these days. Let's watch Braducation first.
Are there any specific occupations that would allow me to get a green card or visa?
Almost any occupation allows you to get a green card as long as you're proving that you're not taking a job away from an American worker. It could be an unskilled position such as a live-in housekeeper or a nanny. It could be a skilled position such as a cook or an auto mechanic. It could be a professional position such as a lawyer or an accountant or a computer professional. Or it could be somebody who has some sort of extraordinary ability in business, science, arts, athletics, or you can show that you're working in the national interest. All of those are ways to get a green card through employment. There you go. Schedule the appointment with Brad Bernstein or any one of our team at 1-800-529-5465. I will tell you that we're going to be with David Moreno. We're going to try to get to Rebecca Linetsky. We're going to try to get back to some more social media questions. We have about 23 minutes left, so we've got a lot to do. Let's see if we can find David Moreno again and continue, at least start. There you are.
Can you see me better now?
Now I see you better now, and I hear you better now.
Awesome.
Very, very good. Very, very
good. Love the beard and the Braducation, by the way.
Yes, I look like the world's most. I look like the world's most interesting man, don't I?
All you need is a Dos Equis.
The Dos Equis, right? And then everybody would be listening to me, right?
There you go. You look great.
Yeah, I look 10 years younger without the beard, I think, because the beard comes in gray. I don't know why.
It makes you distinct.
Maybe, but you want to know what? All the Brad squad of the team Squeeze, they're like, get rid of the beard, Brad. Get rid of the beard. I kind of like it.
I like it too.
I like it too. All right, so we were talking about rape, sexual abuse in the criminal justice system. By the way, this is David Moreno. He's one of our fantastic criminal defense attorneys. Thank you for switching seats. We hear you very well now. He's a former district attorney here in Manhattan. He has been voted to multiple awards, including the top 100 trial attorneys in the United States of America, the top 40 black attorneys under the age of 40 in America, a whole host of awards. You can go on our website and see them all. I don't even remember them all after a while. Every week he comes in with a new award, and I'm like, all right, stop it already. Please, stop it. More award. He's the most awarded lawyer in our office, former district attorney, David Moreno, talking here about the justice system and what constitutes rape. Because, I mean, we see Harvey Weinstein's going to be arrested at some point for rape. We know what rape is, obviously. Everybody knows what it is. But what is the legal definition? What do you need to prove for this?
Without getting too deep into the weeds here, the legal definition of rape, putting it simply, is engaging in sexual intercourse with another person when that person is either A, unable to consent, or B, by force. And then the penal law goes through different levels and gradations as to rape in the first degree, second degree, third degree, and then from a lesser extent, different levels of sexual misconduct. And that's in New York, what the law is.
So in New York, if somebody is found guilty of a rape, what kind of sentence do you think they would be looking at?
Well, if it's rape in the first degree, the range is anywhere from 5 to 25 years in state prison, which is the most severe type of rape. Your forcible rapes, your rapes of minors, and then there are lower level rapes where you can get 5 to 15 years or 3.5 to 7 years, depending on the grade that you're charged with.
So you recently had a case. By the way, for anybody who needs to reach David Moreno, it's the same telephone number, 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. And everybody should be saving this telephone number in their phone, especially if you live in New York, but anywhere in the United States. We can, if it's a federal case, we can come to you anywhere in the United States of America. If it's a state case within the United States of America, we could always find you a local lawyer. But certainly New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, you should be saving our telephone number, 1-800-529-5465. You never know. Do you think Harvey Weinstein woke up one morning and said, boy, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life? He was not expecting that in 2017, that's for sure. So you never know. Now, recently, David, you had represented somebody on a very serious rape case, and you got the case dismissed. Can you tell us about the case and what you did to get the case dismissed? Keeping in mind, when you're a criminal defense attorney, and maybe you want to talk about this too, and I don't really know all the facts of the case, it's not so much in our criminal justice system whether you did it or not. It's what the prosecution can prove under the law while maintaining your rights.
Absolutely. And for me, I do have a strong moral compass, and I can tell you that this individual was absolutely innocent. Very young kid, 20 years old, accused of a very, very serious crime, had a court-appointed attorney for a while, and the kid's grandmother came to see us and said, look, I don't have loads of money, but, whatever I do have, I'm willing to get my grandson some help because he didn't do this. And look, as a criminal defense attorney, you learn to not take things, you take things with a grain of salt because you hear it all.
Right.
But after sitting down and speaking to this kid and following up on some of the things that I'll get into, some of the things that he told me, I realized that, wow, this kid is actually innocent. And not every one of our clients is innocent, but this kid was actually innocent.
So when you sat down with him and you listened to his story and you say, wow, this kid could really be innocent, how do you go about, as a good criminal defense attorney, you're a former district attorney, you're now on the other side defending people, how do you go about building a case to defend this person and ultimately get it dismissed?
So for me, one of my greatest tools and assets is that I'm aggressive. I don't wait for the chips to fall where the prosecutor wants them to fall. I don't wait till we get to a trial to, bring in witnesses that are going to say otherwise. I get out there just like I did when I was a prosecutor, and I started investigating the case myself right from the jump. I can't rely on the police to investigate the case in a way that helps our client. Because at that point, he's already arrested, he's already incarcerated. They've invested time and resources in trying to prosecute him, so they're not looking to clear his name.
They're looking to put this man in jail.
At that point, yes. In this particular case, and look, I'm not saying that victims don't deserve to have guilty parties go to jail. That's part of the justice system. But in this situation, we had an aggrieved ex-girlfriend who created this elaborate story that my client, held her in a house for a number of hours, that he tore her clothes, that he raped her at gunpoint, and she told the story to the police. a lot of times, you know, in these sexual assault cases, rape cases, sexual misconduct, you know, there are only two people involved: the victim and the accuser and the accused. Right? There's no one else in the room. So
it's he said, she said, and you got to be able to believe somebody.
Yes, usually.
Unless sometimes there's a rape kit, sometimes there's DNA evidence.
Correct. Well, in this case, we used some other resources. So luckily, where this took place, or this was alleged to have taken place, was in a very residential area. And what I did was I hired an investigator, a personal friend of mine that I've used even since I was in the DA's office, to go out and canvass the area for surveillance video. And what he found was surveillance video from a neighbor's home that shoots right onto the driveway of the home where this alleged crime took place.
So a private resident just puts security cameras around their house, and they happen to be able to see as part in one of the cameras across the street where this incident happened.
Exactly.
Right.
So with that video, what it showed was one of the major allegations was that this rape was so savage that, you know, my client ripped her clothes and you know, she was frantic. She didn't know what to do. The video shows her walking into the house with, you know, stockings that are ripped all over, not from him, but as a style. And on the video, it's not clear, and I'm going to get into how we were able to, you know, corroborate that. And then after the event, it shows her leaving and shows her going to his car. She actually takes her bag that she had and puts it in his car, and then also told the police that he stole her bag, stole her cell phone. So that's shown in the video. And then also through a social media search, we were able to get photographs from that night, which clearly show her outfit that night, earlier in the night before she even went out, and showed that the stockings that she said that he ripped was actually ripped from before she even met up with him. So with those things, the video and the social media posts, and then also some of the text messages, you know, before and after the fact that were sent from the victim to my client, I was able to get the district attorney's office after they had already, you know, gone into the grand jury to dismiss the case.
How many lawyers would have sent out an investigator to go canvass? I don't know many, if any, who would have even thought about it, would have put in the time and the effort to go above and beyond. Most criminal defense attorneys would have said, hey, pal, you got to plead guilty to something. They got you. And our attorney, David Moreno from Spartan Bernstein, not only goes out and investigates this, but because he is a former DA himself, he knows how the system works. He knows who the players are. He was able to speak with people, show them the evidence, show them that, hey, what this woman said with ripped clothes, she walked into the house with ripped stockings, she walked out of the house and handed her bags to this man. Her story of a vicious rape and a theft of her belongings doesn't jive with what we see here on the video. And we don't know what happened in that house, right? We don't know what happened in that house. But what we do know is that they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And there would be no way that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt with this evidence.
Absolutely. I mean, they don't have to prove whether or not he ripped their clothes. They'd have to prove that the rape happened. But that actually, you know, critically hurt her veracity and her credibility. So
everybody out there, luckily for this gentleman, he had our telephone number saved. He has listened, or his family listened to this show for years and years, even before we were on Facebook, while we were on the radio on WVIP 93.5 FM. Every person out there in this day and age, in New York, in California, in Florida, wherever you are, but certainly in New York, and certainly if you are a minority, and certainly if you are an immigrant in the United States, but even if you're an American citizen, should have a good lawyer saved in their phone. You've just listened to a very good lawyer who showed you how he works, what tools he uses, where somebody was accused of a serious crime that could have landed him in jail for 10, 15, 20 years and had the case absolutely dismissed because there was no way that the DA would be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that anything happened. Save our number. It's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. And I always say that the best way to save our number is to literally pick up the phone, dial the number, and hang up. And why do you dial the number to hang up? Because I do it all the time whenever I hear, especially when I'm driving in the car, whatever, I always dial the number and hang up because I never know if I'm going to remember the number when I need it, or where am I going to find this show again, or hear this commercial again. So I literally dial the number, I hang the phone up, and I now got it locked in my phone. And then when I get to wherever I have to be, I save it as Good Attorney, David Moreno, Spar and Bernstein, Brad Bernstein, whatever you want to save it in your phone. 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. And the best way to save our number is to literally dial it and have it stored in your phone. David, you have any other thoughts? It's a great story and a great outcome.
Yeah, I guess my parting words will be, look, if you're ever charged with a crime, you got to look at it like a life and death situation. You're not going to just go to see any doctor. You're always entitled to a second opinion. Give us a call. We really care about our clients, and we're willing to go, the extra leg. I wish more attorneys would do it, but unfortunately not everyone does.
Not everybody does, and that's why there's a lot of innocent people who are in jail who don't belong in jail, or there are certain people who have substantial jail sentences that otherwise shouldn't have had substantial jail sentences if they only had good attorneys who cared about them, fought for them, and actually put the work in to give them the best opportunity to prove their innocence. David, fabulous job as always. He's a fantastic attorney. Also a great guy. I like hanging out with him too. Also a great guy. 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465. Make sure you got that number saved. David Moreno from our Criminal Defense Department, not only in New York, New Jersey, throughout the United States, in any U.S. federal district court. And of course, if you're in a state court outside of the New York, New Jersey area, we can also help you find somebody locally. 1-800-529-5465 is the number that you should have saved for really good criminal defense attorneys here at Spar and Bernstein. We are a full-service law firm, folks. We're not just immigration. Shocking, but it's true. 1-800-529-5465. All right, so what we're going to do is we have Tamika, who's been holding for a while from Atlanta with an immigration question, and then we're going to go find Rebecca Linetsky, who's one of our fantastic immigration attorneys, and we're going to talk about something which we never talk about here on the Brad and Squeeze Show, which, especially if you own a business, is really important, about I-9 verification, how you as a business can make sure that you are complying with the immigration laws. Let's talk to Tamika first. Tamika, how are you?
I'm okay. I was the person who sent the question.
You were the person who what?
The question that Kim raised this morning about what if I would get married, what if I without pictures.
You don't have pictures? Oh, you asked the Facebook question where the person doesn't have pictures, but they have 2 kids in a house. So what is your question now? Yes.
You were saying maybe more evidence to prove, but we got married 2 years ago, and one of the child is actually 8 months old.
Tamika, I don't hear you, unfortunately. I want to help you, but you're breaking up. You said you had a child 2 years ago, and what?
No, we got married 2 years ago.
Okay, good.
But one of the children is just 8 months old.
Okay.
Just born this year.
All right, so that's fantastic. So, I mean,
we visit each other from time to time. We just don't have any pics.
Well, you know what? Guess what? You got to live together. You don't live together, you're going to have a problem.
He lives in Jamaica. I'm in America.
Oh, you're filing for him.
Yes.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I thought you were living both in different homes in the United States. You'll be fine.
No.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. All right. All right, so let's go. Let's find Rebecca Linetsky. I don't know where she's sitting here in America. Where is Rebecca sitting in? There you are.
I'm in my office.
You're in your office.
You can hear me.
Your office looks very long and narrow, and that's not really what it looks like.
Oh my goodness, it looks very messy, actually.
Yes. Well, that messy office is good. That means you're very busy. And Rebecca, thank you for joining us here. And Rebecca is one of our fantastic immigration attorneys here. People who may know you, a lot of viewers say you're lovely, which you are. Fantastic lawyer, which you are. Also an immigrant yourself from Canada, right?
I sure am. Yes.
What is? Let me hear.
I do say I've dropped it a little bit since I've been here a while, but it comes up every once in a while.
And what are you supposed to say? Where's the beer? What was it? What's the?
You say at the end of sentences. You say it's really cold out.
It's really cold out today,
Yeah.
All right, I just did it myself. All right, so I-9 verification. You want to talk to us a little bit about it? If you are a company here or you're employing any U.S. worker in the United States of America, you have to make sure that you as a company comply with immigration laws. You just can't go out and hire somebody and say, here's some money. If you want to comply with immigration laws and make sure you don't get a fine and make sure you don't end up in jail yourself, you got to comply with immigration laws, and it starts with the I-9 verification. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
So you're right, we don't talk about this very often. It doesn't come up very often in our firm, at least, but it is a very serious issue. I-9 verification and ICE site visits connected to I-9 verification. So not only do you need to check the employment authorization of the people you hire to work for your company, you also have to complete the proper forms and make sure that you keep them on file, on record, so you can produce them if ICE sends you a notice saying we're showing up in a week from now to check your I-9s. And this came up for me just last week. A small business in Brooklyn, 2 locations, less than 20 employees, back in August, got a notice of intent to have a site visit, provided I-9.
So what happens when you get this notice? They put something in the mail to you?
First, they actually showed up in person. I think that they're doing in-person services.
And they scare the hell out of everybody in this.
They scare the hell out of everybody. Right. They show up in person. They say, we're going to come on X date and check your I-9s. They come, they check your I-9s, they take copies. They then let you know, are they all in compliance? And this can be something as small as, is the date written on it properly? Is it signed properly? Is the birth date?
Now, let me just say, in terms of the I-9, this is the form that you have to fill out every time you take a job. The employer has to make sure it's filled out properly, and they look.
And they 3 days of your first day.
Right, and they look at the last 3 years of every employee that's ever worked at your company. And what Rebecca's saying is, because I've done these myself, if you have one check marked wrong, you as the employer are getting fined thousands of dollars.
But what I discovered actually with this particular employer is that it's not common knowledge that you actually have to complete these and keep these on file for every employee. So when ICE asked for them to be produced, they only filled them out at that time. They had never done I-9s for any of their almost 20 employees. They did not know about this obligation at all, and they are now potentially facing a fine of tens of thousands of dollars.
Yes, because
not hundreds.
Because it goes. I believe the fines start at $5,000 per error on a form, and an additional $5,000 for not having one per employee. So for hypothetically,
it's a little less than that.
I thought it was $10,000 per for both, but whatever it may be. But
it depends on what the error is.
But I will say this: they're not. What they are unable to do is go back in time. Employees who don't exist anymore, who don't work there anymore, they don't have an I-9 form for them, so they're certainly going to be fined for that, and they have a problem. So, who needs to fill this out? Who needs to do this?
Everyone who is on the payroll, everyone who is an employee. And even if you think you have nothing to worry about, even if they're all citizens, all green card holders, everyone has a work permit, everyone is good, if you don't have those forms, you will get fined. So even if you think you're doing everything right, you need to be filling them out.
So the consequences of not filling it out are huge fines, and if you do it over and over and over again, it could be jail time.
Criminal penalties. If you're a repeat offender, criminal penalties. Yeah. I mean, what I actually have done for a previous firm, we were hired by companies to do a self-audit where we went in and we checked the I-9s of the company to make sure they were all in compliance. So now if ICE shows up, you know you're covered.
And trust me, in the day and age of Donald J. Trump, when he has 10,000 more ICE agents that he's hiring, he is going to be doing site visits, and you know where they're going to be happening? In sanctuary cities, because he wants to punish people who are in sanctuary cities like New York City. If you are a business or you are a company out there, don't be like this business in Brooklyn who never gave it any thought. Give Rebecca a call. Speak with her. She will go down and review what you have and make sure that if you are not in compliance, that you begin to be placed in compliance. It is so...
You can correct all these errors. You can correct them.
It is so much cheaper and less anxiety to have a lawyer correct it before ICE knocks on your door than it is to fix it after the fact. Rebecca, I had so much more to talk to you about, but we're running out of time here, unfortunately. Yeah. But I really appreciate you coming on. You look fantastic, as always. And anybody who has...
I have the sunlight on me.
Yes, and anybody who has a business out there, whether you are 2 employees, 200 employees, or 2,000 employees, better listen to that story. You are going to possibly, there's people out there, there's companies out there that are going to be knocked on the door. You better have all your I-9s in place, or you are looking at tens and tens of thousands of dollars of fines. Better off to fix the problem ahead of time than wait for the knock on the door. But we got to get out of here. We're at the end of the show. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow live at 9. See you tomorrow.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spahn Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spahn Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spahn and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.